Attinella. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Yo, what's going on, Jay?
Thanks so much for joining me, buddy. Speak on that, brother, because soccer is one of those sports, and that's why when I chat with people about the sport that are trying to learn it, they're trying to love it. I tell them don't watch it through the scope of football. Watch it through the scope of baseball because it's a little bit more of a slower pace. You have to be encouraged about the buildup. You got to be patient. You got to realize that it's so process driven and process oriented and not results driven. And when people do that, I think they learn to appreciate the game at the very least. But soccer is a game where, man, it's not for you're looking for instant gratification. You're probably barking up the wrong tree.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think that with soccer, you compare it more to a chess game, right? So, like, if you're talking about
Mhm.
soccer, it's more about chess. It's that methodical process. It's, okay, can I move the ball from side to side to slowly get that defense to open up? And then once I have that opportunity to attack, like in chess, right? If you see an opportunity to attack and get that queen, you're like, all right, now it's time to go. And then with football, it's more like checkers, where it's like, I'm going to jump you, I'm coming straight at you, and we're just
Yep.
going to clash the entire game, right? So, I think that's a pretty good comparison, but it's funny. Like you're watching that. I was watching that clip of Rick Pitino earlier, and I was just watching it now. And I'm trying to think, how can I apply that to my daughter's 8-year-old softball team that I'm coaching? And so I think I got to be a little bit more delicate, but it's kind of those same priorities that we're trying to instill in those kids.
That's right. Just no F bombs, because I don't know how your wife will feel about that when all these girls start running out of the dugout saying that Coach Jeff cussed at me. So what do you got going on? So you're coaching. I know you're doing stuff with keepers as well. I saw the video the other day. Let everybody know what you got going on, man.
Yeah, man. So I'm working hard. We're trying to build out. One of my goals when I moved down here was to start a goalkeeper academy. I think that it's something that, for me, it's one way to give back to the soccer community as a whole. Just because I've experienced so much, and there's just been so many different things throughout my life that I've learned. Whether it's through, I ended up getting my U.S. scouting license. I wasn't really ever planning on that, but it was an opportunity that kind of fell into my lap. And then, just the different connections and the different people that I've met along the way. So that's something I'm trying to do here, is really try to really focus in on providing an outlet for the goalkeepers that like to play the game of soccer, because I think that that's one of the areas when you're talking about the sport, there's so many people that now have a better idea of what it's like to play the game, but there's not a lot of people that have an idea of what it's like to be a goalkeeper, because
Right.
it's so specific and unique. So that's something I'm working on down here. That's a Tampa Bay Goalkeeper Academy, if that's of interest for anybody down here. And then just a couple different things in the soccer community that I've been working on. There's a company called Keeper Wars that they're gonna try to do some stuff down here in Tampa, where Keeper Wars is essentially, it's a pretty fun game where you line up two goalkeepers, two goals straight across from each other about 25 yards out, and just kind of let them go back and forth. And it's a little bit of a
Hmm.
battle for about 12 minutes. So that's a company that's trying to do something down here that I'm getting involved with as well. And of course, football season just ended here at Smack. So things are finally calming down. Things are finally calming down here a little bit, so we can regroup here at Smack and get ready for next year and gear up a little bit for baseball. So a little bit of everything. And I'm trying to do a little bit more content as well on my own channels for just sports talk and things like that. So just having fun with all the things I'm doing, really.
Make sure you check out Smack Apparel, some of the greatest t-shirts around, talking smack in a fun way to really stick it to your biggest rivals. What is kind of this time of year for you guys now? Like, what other sports do you really get on? Because I know football is such a big thing for you, whether it's NFL or college.
Yeah, football is definitely the driver, but now it's a little bit more of a shift to baseball. And the beginning of baseball, everybody's really fired up for baseball. So
Hmm.
there's a little bit of a window here where there's a couple months where baseball, we lean into baseball designs and try to think of new designs or anything that might have happened in the off season. But then when you get to those summer months where it's like everyone's been watching baseball only for
Right.
we're on games like 100, where everyone's like, all right, let's get to the All-Star break and start getting
Hmm.
where it's serious again. That's where things kind of slow down for us. But so we're going to try to tap into college basketball once college basketball starts heating up, and really just anything that pops off in the sports world, we're going to try to be on top of. And we've actually dropped a couple more Man United designs that we're going to be trying to tap into soccer a little bit more, because there's such a fan base here in America for European football. So really just trying to keep our eyes open to different things that happen in sports. And really, this is just a time for us to think around new ideas, things that we could do differently as a business. And of course, one of the things I'm really driving into with Smack is just the different content and trying to make it a real fan-centric hub for sports fans that
Hmm.
want to have a little fun, maybe talk some smack on our channels, and not let it get a little bit over the top. So that's really what we're doing down here.
Yeah, you should probably get a Man United shirt that says, "Oh no, we suck again," because we stink, man. We stink. But hopefully we
It's
can win
it's
the
it's
year
not
before.
good. It's not good soccer in Manchester right now. Manchester as a
Killing me,
whole is
bro.
suffering.
It's killing me, man. Even
It's
City's not
suffering.
playing good, so Manchester fans are not too happy about anything going on. Big soccer match last Friday night at Raymond James Stadium, Inter Miami, Orlando City. What was that experience like for you and your family? I know your daughter got a chance to be an escort. I mean, what's the word to take? Because in Europe they say mascots, and I'm like, that's so demeaning for the kids. So just what do they call them here in the States?
Yeah, it was escort. They went with escort,
Escort?
which is nice. That's a proper title. They did a
I mean,
good
I guess.
job.
I mean, we live in Tampa, so I mean, I don't know if escorts is necessarily the
Oh
best.
no, don't say that.
Okay,
She's
okay.
only 8. She's
I
only
know
8.
that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm trying to look out. Like, I don't know if this. I don't think. Can we just get a better word like star of the game or kid of the game, star kid?
Kid
Yeah,
walkers or something like
that's
that.
not good either.
No.
We got to come up with a name that is just one. There's no double entendre. There's nothing. There's got to be one name. We should come up with that, bro. We'd be millionaires. But how was that experience?
Yeah,
We'll go.
trademark that title so that anybody times anyone uses it, then we have it
They
down.
got to pay Jay and Jeff. You got that, buddy. But before your experience, what was her experience like being able to walk on the field with the team?
It was cool, man. I mean, you know how it is, dude. The Tampa Bay Sports Commission, Rob Higgins, they are just all class all the time,
He's the
and
best.
and he had reached out about, I know a lot of soccer people in this community, so he had reached out about connecting him with. He had reached out about me connecting him with a soccer group down here that I think could have done some good with the game and with the event because it was such a big deal that, of course Messi's coming and that's just such a massive deal. But for me, it was cool for me to see an MLS game at Raymond James Stadium. I mean, I hadn't seen that since the Tampa Bay Mutiny. And it was always kind of one of my pipe dreams to try to find a way to get onto the Raymond James field and play a soccer game. And I didn't ever see, it didn't happen during my time playing, but for them to be able to bring MLS to the community was awesome. And, obviously it had Messi and it had all the big superstars, which is a big driving factor of it. But it was just cool for me to see that because I didn't think it was something that would ever be possible for quite some time. But Rob had reached out about connecting them, and he just kind of threw out there in the message like, "Oh, and hey, by the way, if one of your I don't know how old your kids are yet, but if you have one that's over 7, we're short one kid to walk on the field if you think anybody would be interested." And of course, like I didn't ask. I was just like, "Oh yeah, my daughter, she's in, no doubt. Like sign her up. We'd love to do it. Thank you so much for the opportunity." And it was cool, man. It was a cool dad moment for me because she's 8 years old, right? And like you're watching this kid grow up and they still feel, I think parents always feel like your kids are really young, no matter how
Mhm.
old they are. But I'm watching and it's like, all right, we take her down to the tunnel and they're walking in where the players walk in and they're like, all right, we're gonna need your kid here at 5:30. Game starts at 7:30. Walkout would be around like 7:25 or so, and we're just gonna take your kid and we pick them up afterwards. So it's like so I'm there with Kendall, my wife, and our 4-year-old Connor, and Remy's just like you could tell she was a little bit nervous, but she didn't know anybody and she just walked back under the tunnel. And then the next time we see her, she's walking out on the field and she was with one of the Orlando players, but she was with the player that was right after the goalie. So it was like 3
Oh,
players
nice.
away from Messi. So we're watching, I'm like, oh my gosh, like he's like she could like reach out and touch him if she really wanted to. And like I'm watching her and she's just like watching him, but like holding the guy's hand, but walking the whole time. And then they did the lineup, they did the anthem, and then just watching her sprint off the field because they always send the kids. They're always like, I remember when I was playing, there's somebody that's always there. It's like, all right, now come.
Yeah.
So watching the person organize that and watching my daughter sprint off the field and going to pick her up, and she was all fired up. So for me, it was really cool because I never got the chance to do that with her when I was playing because she was always a little bit too young. And then when she was old enough, there was COVID, so they weren't doing the player escort. So I never got the opportunity to do that. So to see her do that, one, I never thought she'd get the chance to do that on an MLS field, but then to do it with, some of the world's best players walking right next to her it was really cool.
What about your experience watching the game and seeing Messi playing there at Raymond James Stadium?
Yeah, it was cool, man. Honestly, that was the first or the second MLS game that I've been to since I retired. I went to the stadium opener in Nashville. It was a little bit mixed emotions if I'm being
Really?
completely honest. Yeah, because I'm watching and I'm thinking in my head, everybody thinks, I think no matter how old you get, you think in
I
your head that
still
you can
get
still be out there.
it. Yeah.
And so to watch it going down on Raymond James Stadium and to be watching from the seats, that was a little bit tough, if I'm being completely honest, because I was like, man, I'd do anything to be out there in front of the hometown crowd and be a part of this game. But it was just an unforgettable experience in terms of like how many times you get to watch somebody that is truly the best at their craft. And for me, I've done it twice in my life, and they've both been at Raymond James Stadium. It's been Tom Brady and it's been Messi. And to watch him play, and just the way that he was able to captivate the entire audience, like little kids, man, like chanting Messi, 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 little kids all across the stadium chanting his name. I just never thought I'd see something like that in soccer. And it was a little bit surreal, but also a little bit bittersweet. And it was just a whole bag of emotions, man. It was funny. Kendall reached out and she's like, "How you doing over there?" And I'm like, "I don't know how I'm doing right now." I'm a little bit all over the place, but I'm glad my kids are having fun.
Yeah, that's true. You got a great wife, buddy. You got a great wife. She
Thank
definitely
you. Yeah.
understands. She understands like the whole thing with that, with the emotions. And
She
speaking
understands
of,
my crazy. She understands my crazy.
she is, man. And speaking of crazy, it's Florida State against USF baseball today at 5 o'clock. I mean, is that going to cause anybody to sleep on the couch tonight or what?
Nah. If it was football, that's her football is Kendall's thing, man. If it
Mhm.
has to do with football, then it's like no love lost at all between the two schools. But, I think that it's two programs that we both kind of just root for them for one
Right.
another. And, if USF wins, I'll definitely talk a lot of smack. And if Florida State wins, I won't even tell her that Florida State beat USF in anything.
Yeah, that's right. Ignorance is bliss at times. You got that right, buddy. Did you watch any of the hockey, the Four Nations stuff?
Yeah, dude, I love it. I love it. So I've been
Amazing.
tuned out. I haven't been checked into hockey as much as I normally have been, just with so much going on, and you don't get as much TV control when you have kids in the house.
Right.
But that got me back into it, honestly. Like, I'm fired up for Thursday. I think Thursday is going to be electric. Can't wait to watch it. And dude, now I'm like watching the Lightning guys being the guys that are leading the scraps. I'm like, oh, we got it. All right, I'm back in. I got my hat on now. I'm like, all right, we're back into this. I got to get back into it a little bit. But no, dude, it was cool, man. I think they've done a really good job of figuring out how to make these little breaks fun,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, I think soccer's always done a good job with it because they have that international window, and then when you get countries playing against each other, people are into it. No matter, you know what I mean? No matter who you cheer for, if you're rooting for your country, you're going to get into it. And I think the NHL and hockey's done a tremendous job, and I can't wait for Thursday. I'm like fired up. It's like the driving force of what I'm looking forward to this week.
I know. I mean, our guys from the We the Thunder podcast are like, "Oh, I'm going to be at the Dignitary Tea and Kava House Thursday." So I'm like, "Oh, I might have to go over there, and we might have to like bring a bunch of people." So if you're looking for a place to watch the game, hit me up. We'll definitely. That's a T-shirt, bro. If USA wins, that's your
Oh,
Smack Apparel
100%.
T-shirt.
100%. We own hockey or something like that.
Yes, man. Something with the
Something.
Kachucks on there, like the
Yeah.
Kachuk brothers, the new Bass brothers, Brady
I
and
saw I saw a bunch of memes and gifs about that, and it was just like, this is actually so fitting.
bro. I'm telling you, if the U.S. wins, bro, there you go. You're looking for something to do during the downtime. That's
Yeah,
the way to
yeah,
go
that'd be a
about
good
it,
one.
man.
That'd be a good one. No, it's been fun though. I just think that like figuring out a way to keep the sport exciting when there's downtime is crucial for all these sports. And in this fashion, I think it actually might help the NHL gain a little bit momentum, because now you're watching these guys and it's like, all right, I'm cheering for USA. All right, oh, who does that guy play for? I
Right.
like that guy. I want to watch his game play. And I
Mhm.
think that that's been a bit can't talk right now. Been a good thing for hockey.
No, for sure. And then I'm always been a big NBA guy, and it just like looking at their All Star Weekend compared to what we just saw for hockey, it's not even the same, right? Dunk competition and the games, the guys aren't really trying, and then you have 3 fights in 9 seconds in hockey, and people don't get it too. And I was just saying this before, Jeff, before you got on. Somebody was talking about, oh, like these are meaningless games, and you know as well as I do, when these guys are playing for their country, for hockey, it's probably the closest sport to soccer, where soccer, the international breaks are built in to the regular season schedule every single year. And as much as they do get paid millions of dollars and love playing for their club, I mean, the pride that comes for playing for their country, it's incomparable.
Dude, don't even get me started on the NBA. What the NBA is doing right now in that weekend, I thought that was such a disaster for the
It was
NBA. I mean, nothing good came of that at all. If
right.
anything, it was like more negative than positive. But and that's what you got to love about hockey, man. Like, there's certain sports, right, where if you don't bring it, you're gonna get run over, or like you just better come correct, because you know that the people across the line are gonna come and they're gonna play seriously. Whereas in
Mhm.
basketball, it's like you watch one of these all-star teams and they don't even try, And if the other team's trying really hard, it's just a waste of everybody's time. But I think that they did a great job of setting the tempo. Obviously, I know that like booing the national anthem right now is a big thing, and I'm sure it's politically driven. But if you take the politics out of it, I mean, if I was standing there playing MLS and when we played these Canadian teams and they booed the national anthem, I'd be like, all right, let's go. Like it's like let's go. Let's have a little bit of pride behind this and like really get fired up about it. So I thought the players did a good job of handling it the right way. Obviously, when you start the game with 3 fights, it's just like, oh, this is gonna be epic. And now the next one's in Boston, so you know that they're gonna get it on the other side too. So I'm fired up, man. I think it's gonna be really cool.
Hell yeah, man. I cannot wait. Jeff Attinella, go check him out. Smack Apparel, Jeff_Attinella1. Follow him wherever he's at. Hope to see you around at some Rowdies. We got to go to a Rowdies game together this season.
Yeah, let's do it, bro. We'll get some good content too, man. There's a lot of good stuff going on with the Rowdies, and I know that, you know, you're a big soccer guy in this community, and a lot of the stuff that I'm tapping into this year is about trying to drive soccer and get it going in this community. And I think the Miami Orlando game is a good jump off point. So anytime you want to do anything, brother, you know I'm here for you.
We're collabing big time. Go check him out. Go check out Smack Apparel. Check out the USA shirt they're going to come up with after the win on Thursday night. Give Kendall and the kids my love, my brother. I appreciate your time, and have a great rest of your week. Talk soon, pal.
Absolutely, man. Keep grinding, brother.
Thanks, buddy. The one and only